people in alpha state. Someone blinks and our state changes, and then we get all, and it's one of the ways to affect, to make that atmosphere of the night bar or night place more strong to the people who go there. But anyways, when he got the stroboscopic light in front of him and started blinking, he said he literally exploded. He went out of his body. He went out outside the universe. His body became like a supernova. Like just completely otherworldly experiences that he would never ever thought were real. But then he read about these experiences in the mystic literatures. So after that, he started conducting LSD sessions on patients. What he found out was that LSD speeds up the therapy, the psychological therapy. And for example, if there are 2 or 3 years that are necessary for a certain emotional, psychological problem to be solved, it might take 2 or 3 sessions in LSD. But these sessions can last for hours. So basically, he did over 30,000 sessions on patients. 30,000 sessions. And he wrote everything down. And after several thousands of sessions, he started noticing that there's a definite tendency in the sessions. Like there's a definite way the sessions work. It doesn't just happen like I'm starting going high and I'm starting hallucinating. It doesn't really work like that in a therapeutic setting. It's different when you do LSD and go to a party or you go somewhere else. But it's in the therapeutic setting, in an office or in nature. It can be also in nature with music, and there is actual way these sessions unfold. So how do these sessions unfold? I will use a little bit of PowerPoint to remind you. So what happens during LSD? There are dramatic perceptual changes in all sensory areas. You can have visions, experiences from our personal history, but also some that come from transpersonal realms. Transpersonal realms are 造个人, 境界. So we can have all kinds of experiences. People, for Christians, can have experiences from that they have no idea. And then he would research everything they said, and he would figure out that this actually is mythology of some Papua New Guinean tribe, or some Asian tribe, or something like that. People from Asian background, they have deep experiences that are actually related to Christianity. Christians can have deep experiences with Hindu gods and divinities and all of that. Like everything, like all those lines become kind of blurred. So we can be catapulted into realms related to archetypal beings, mythological regions, experiencing different sounds, smells, emotions. What happens to emotions during this state is that they can range from completely ecstatic rapture, heavenly bliss, to episodes of utter fear, terror, murderous anger, despair, guilt, all-consuming guilt. Or people would experience some states that would match the celestial realms described in Buddhism or Christianity. Or they would experience states that match the states of hell in Buddhism or Christianity, etc. Sometimes they would all feel cleansed and that their bodies are burning and all of that, and even blisters might come out. There would be a strong pain, etc. All these states in our Western society are usually taken with a very skeptical mind, while in most indigenous cultures they have developed very sophisticated ways of how to induce altered states. So Western cultures try to suppress. How do they try to suppress? By antidepressants, by all kinds of stuff, by alcohol. Alcohol suppresses emotion. So there are different ways and techniques that can induce this holotropic state. He called them holotropic states. Stanislav Grof coined this term. It's basically his own term, and it means state that moves the person towards wholeness, moves the person towards becoming 比较真很性的一个心理状态行动。So, unlike antidepressants, this deeply altered state that can be induced by LSD or by any special substances or by simply breathing exercises, by meditation, etc. They actually move the person towards states of wholeness, towards different levels of integration. So what kind of ways are there to induce holotropic states? For example, breath. In yoga we have pranayama, like different ways of breathing. Or in qigong, there are different ways that people start breathing, and like fast, slow, all kinds of ways. There are sound technologies. What do sound technologies do? Mostly drumming, rhythmic. Even, like for example, if you've been to a Buddhist service, they always start doing this, right? African drums. In Christianity also they use drums in many different ways, like drums and basically use of sounds, bells, gongs, different chantings, mantras, didgeridoo. All these things can profoundly impact the way we feel. Dancing, forms of movement like whirling Sufi dervishes, Tai Chi, again yoga or Qigong also has dancing and movement. Also social isolation. You can also do a sensory deprivation. Like there are ways of people to close the eyes, close everything that can touch, and suspend themselves in complete darkness in water. So there is no feeling of touch, no feeling of balance, everything like after a certain period of time in this state, a person can actually start experiencing different altered states. So all these ways can induce meditation, prayer, other spiritual practice. There are many. And finally, of course, ritual use of psychedelic plants and substances. There's peyote, there's ayahuasca. In Africa, there is the boga. The boga actually works on the place where we start feeling remorse about things that happened in the past. So people taking this plant, the boga, actually start seeing a lot of parts of their life and repenting about everything. So they say after that they come out as very humble about many things. In Hawaii there is a thing called woodrose. Also there's from the skin of toad, 青蛙的皮肤可以拿出来一个东西，它也是有非常一个强烈的影响。Anyways, shamans from all the cultures, what do? They're very proficient in entering the states. They go into the states and they can come out of the states and they can take people into these states. Girls, do you understand me? Okay, Ma, if you do, yeah, okay, I'm kind of, yeah, okay. So they can go into the state, they can come out of the states, and they can heal, or they can obtain different types of knowledge while they're in this state. Shamanism is probably 30 to 40,000 years old practice. 30 to 40,000 years. In Amazonian forest, it's been practiced probably for 5 to 10,000 years. We don't know exactly how many years people have been there, but 5,000 years at least. So some anthropologists say that this holotropic state engage the primal mind, which is a basic and primordial aspect of human psyche, and that transcends race, transcends sex, culture, historical time, and this might basically explain why so many cultures have actually had shamanism. Like even in Taiwan, there are shamans. They just have different names for them. Donkey, or like Jitong, or all these kind of people. Western civilization is known to be very. Do you want to look at it? Because it's like you're blinking, but I'm kind of. How about I put it like this?
Okay.
All right.